Hello everyone. It's James again, bringing to you another video today that will help you learn how to spot a toxic person and be able to in a way see straight through someone and get an idea of what they are really about. You see, seeing through a toxic person or a narcissist can be a difficult task because we as people are looking through filters that we put up ourselves that get in the way of seeing the truth of how things in life and how people in life really are. No matter if we are talking about the stealthy narcissist that at times can act rather shy in public, but over time they become abusive. Or if we are talking about the overt narcissist that wears her or his charms on their sleeve for all to see. There is a way to see these people for who they really are. The secret to being able to do this is to be educated on a toxic person's red flags they might display, which I have gone over in many of my previous videos, and will review some of them for you in a moment. However, the most important secret to see through someone else is to be able to see through yourself and know who you are first and foremost. Yes, that's right. The secret to being able to see through someone else is you have to be able to see through yourself first and have done the self-work to build up who you are into a confident person that is unshakable, and that is a person that is quite sure of who you are and what you are about. Why is this important? Because most narcissists know that most people have self-issues they can use as weaknesses to manipulate how we think, feel, and act in order to gain control over our lives. You see, the toxic people that come into your life try to get you to change or conform to the person they want you to be, and they use your own weaknesses to do this. This can be as simple as using backhanded comments to get you to change otherwise good characteristics about yourself. These types will use covert means to chop at who you are and your self-esteem to gain control over you, and to change you into the compliant person they want you to be. And this can happen with anyone, meaning a woman that meets a new woman friend at work, or a man meeting a new buddy at the gym, or in man and woman dating relationships. And the reason why this happens is most people have not done the self-work needed to really see who we really are as people. Instead of seeing ourselves through the murky filters we have been looking through all of our lives. And if we cannot see our true selves, how can we see someone else's true self? And when we do the self-work we need to do to know ourselves, and to be able to read ourselves like a book, we can then easily tell when someone has intentions to change that good we have worked so hard for. You will start to question things more and try to come up with answers, as this is the same discovery process you have done with yourself. Such as you are on a first date with someone, you will really take a look at their behavior, both good and bad, and ask yourself, well, if they were complaining about this on the first date, what would they do when they really get to know me? Or if they are acting like they are already in love with you, you will ask yourself, how many other guys is she doing this with despite what she is telling me? Or you will ask yourself, is this too good to be true? And since your filters are off, you won't give yourself the answer you want to hear, but the answer of what the truth really is. Because if it's often our own denial that gets us into trouble with toxic people. You see, the thing is, if you have not done the self-work that is needed within yourself, a toxic person is quite hard to spot. Because you will think maybe there is something wrong with you instead of it being the other way around. You will make excuses for something they said or did. Or if they are too good to be true, you will get mad at yourself for thinking something bad about them. However, if your self-work is done, and you meet someone that all they are trying to do is manipulate you, it is easy to see, just like having X-ray vision, or blocking a punch in the matrix. You can see what this person is all about from the get-go, because your own self-denial is gone. Once you have worked on your inner self and confidence issues, can you see those clearly that are always trying to persuade and change your perception of your inner self to something negative? By doing this inner work, you will be able to clearly see those that are being helpful and offering constructive criticism, as compared to those that are trying to manipulate you. And by doing this inner work, it will allow for you to see the toxic red flags in others, because you can see the toxic red flags within yourself. You see, everyone has done some sort of self-sabotaging to themselves before. even if it was something small or minor. However, many people sabotage themselves in major ways that do not allow them to reach their full potential as people, and they do not even realize they are doing this. So if you cannot see how you may be sabotaging yourself, how can you see when someone is sabotaging you? That is just it. You cannot, until you do the internal work that is needed to be able to see your own toxic traits for what they are and correct them, and your own red flags of things you do to yourself that put you in bad situations. Once you can read yourself like a book, and can make the corrections that are needed, it becomes extremely easy to spot trouble heading your way, and seeing straight through a person that is indeed trouble themselves. Someone that is trouble because they have not done their own self-work, and they may not have because of personality disorders that has locked their mind and prevents them from doing so. This person will display certain red flags such as they are easily bored and tend to use others as their entertainment. And when you stop and think about your relationship with this person, you may feel like you are a part of their entertainment circus too. Another red flag you will notice if in conversations with this person, every problem is always someone else's fault, not theirs. They are always mysteriously the victim. From the breakup with their last boyfriend, down to their landlord kicking them out last week, to a fight they had with their sister, down to the person at Burger King not making their hamburger right. And most importantly, they will try to change and confuse your abilities and character traits that are your major strengths. Yes, you will taste the bitter taste of this even if they try to wrap this treatment up in a pretty package. Because that's what toxic people do to confuse you. But the bitter taste will be there, and you will not put that bitter taste in your denial memory banks. Because you have done the self-work and there is no denial memory banks in your brain anymore. When you see all of this unfold, you will sit back and say, I can see straight through her. Or him. I know what kind of person she is or he is. You see, being a master at seeing through others, and knowing what someone is up to, you first have to become a master of yourself. Your own red flags. Your own flaws. Faults and problems. You have to learn how to manage your emotions and to be able to manage them very well. To the point where you can sit back and think about why you are angry or sad. Understand it. And figure out how to turn that emotion around into something positive. You see, toxic people are emotional vampires. And they love to test to see if someone is what they deem to be emotionally weak. Or maybe not emotionally weak, but emotionally unaware. Because if you are emotionally unaware, they can persuade you to think anything they want. So what I want all of you to do this week is write down everything about you and who you are. From the good, bad to the ugly. I want you to not just look at it for its surface meaning, but I want you to think about these things as deep as you can and what they really mean, and why they really have came into existence in your life, and what you think needs to be done to change the negatives into positives. This will not only help correct problems in your life, which we all know is a good thing, but it will teach you to be a deep thinker, not a surface thinker. The last thing I want you to do when writing down all of these things about yourself is I want you to write down all of the things that you are in denial about. Yes, that's right. All of those painful things we have been in denial about for far too long. You see, the reason for this is most of us cannot see a toxic person because we are in denial they are toxic to begin with. However, if we learn how to lift denial from our own lives, we can start to see people for who they really are, and not through the filter screen of denial we have been looking through our entire lives. Like I always say, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can help ourselves. And please share this video with everyone you know. It might help them as well. Until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourselves.